On the Middle East, UN Rights Chief Volker Turk today called for concerted efforts to end the Israeli blockade of the Gaza Strip, and Amnesty International accused Israel of committing a live-streamed genocide against Palestinians. We heard President Trump on Friday acknowledge the suffering of people in Gaza and the need for aid to go in. What is the department's view of the ongoing blockade, and will the Secretary push to lift it? And I have a second question.
President Trump said just a few days ago that there is a very big need for medicine and food regarding, of course, Gaza and Gaza aid, and that we are taking care of it. And again, within the framework of the negotiations, the actions, the efforts, as we've discussed, I think every briefing, which is appropriate. I think the President of the United States making that statement makes clear that actions being considered and taken, and that the President is working on it.
So we are taking care of it. How will that translate to actual action?
Well, we'll find out. Okay. He's not a slow man. Also, the United States, of course, supports the flow of humanitarian aid with safeguards to ensure assistance is not diverted, looted, or misused by terrorist groups such as Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. But for one thing, we certainly, I think I can say generally about the President, is that when he says something, he acts, and he doesn't lollygag. And in this particular case, with both men setting these first 100 days as the hallmark of the nature of where they've both been personally committed, Secretary Rubio and President Trump, it is on peace and ceasefires for both Ukraine and Russia, and certainly in Gaza. And his noting what he wants to accomplish in that regard. Again, there's a very big need for medicine, food, and we're taking care of it. So it will not be long, I'm sure, to see the results of his work.
We're reporting that the Syrian foreign minister is set to meet with senior U.S. State Department officials later today in New York. Who will he meet from state, and what will Washington's message be to him on sanctions relief?
Well, of course, we know that we can confirm that some representatives of the Syrian interim authorities are in New York for various UN meetings, but you knew that. We continue to assess our Syria policy cautiously and will judge the interim authorities by their actions. We are not normalizing diplomatic relations with Syria at this time. And I can preview nothing for you regarding any meetings. I have no meetings at all to be able to describe or to confirm for you.
In the jails in Syria, there are around 9,500 terrorists from ISIS. And I wonder whether the United States is going to ease the sanctions so those terrorists in Syria don't take advantage of the situation there. Also, there was yesterday civil unrest near Damascus. I wonder whether you have any comment on that. Thank you.
I cannot comment on the nature of what's happening inside of Syria or the nature of the reaction of our government or of the State Department. I'm sorry about that. Yes, sir.
There were, on Monday, 68 mostly Ethiopian migrants killed in a detention center in Yemen. Are you in a position to confirm now that this was the result of U.S. military action?
I'm not prepared to speak about that. What I can tell you is that Houthi attacks continue to hinder international trade routes in the Red Sea region and have cost the global economy billions. That must stop. And we are aware of various reports in the region, and we are referring questions first to the Department of Defense, but also I will have us take this back to see what more we can have for you later this week regarding that issue. Absolutely.
And just